Today I'm making some Easter cards using the new April 2026 SheetLoad of cards from Call Me Crafty Owl. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Today is the April 2026 SheetLoad of cards debut for the creative team. And the SheetLoad is something that's put together. It's a PDF that's put together by Call Me Crafty Owl every single month. And it's a sketch, supply list, and a cutting guide, all the information you need to help you make a set number of cards each month. Something special about this month is it is the 80th SheetLoad. The 80th. Just everybody stop and give a big applause to Alicia for putting together 80 sketches over the years. And so because of that, it is a special sketch. It is a 5x7 size. I know there's a lot of you that will be excited by that. And it's kind of a fun fold in the fact that it's a bookbinding card. So you'll see, if you aren't familiar with that, you'll see what that is here in just a bit. But it uses 12x12 pattern papers, makes 10 cards. There is a playlist linked in the description box below that has all of the creative team members and the cards that they're making today. So be sure to check that out. I am doing something, I'm kind of going off the rails here just a little bit. Instead of 12x12, I am using a 6x8 pad. It's the Easter Blessings collection from Biddy Penny. I've been wanting to use this for a while, and I thought now is like the great time because we're coming up on Easter. And I do need some Easter cards. So I am going to make this work for the 5x7. So it called for two 12x12 pieces of paper. I am using kind of bits and pieces of the 6x8 because if you are familiar with Biddy Penny's paper, she gives you, like, they're double-sided. And usually on one side you have a bunch of glorious images, and then on the other side you do have a pattern of some sort. Sometimes it's, a full 6x8 pattern. Sometimes it's more of like a 4x6, so you can get two different ones. So it's sometimes really hard for me to cut into these for the paper because the images are so wonderful. But I did kind of go through and figure out which images I could sacrifice for the patterns on the back. So that's what I'm going to be using today, and I will show you how I am going to make the 6x8 papers work for this 5x7 card. Because I used a mix of like full sheets and scraps, I didn't necessarily record me cutting down all of the pattern paper, but I did use the dimensions that she had in her cutting guides to cut all of my pieces. I also did go ahead and make my card bases off camera. So I cut down the 5x7 card bases and then went ahead and glued the spine together. So in Alicia's video that's linked down below, she will show you how to put, make it a bookbinding type card. Basically, the left side is kind of glued down so that when you open it, the full top of the card doesn't open. It just opens partially, kind of like a book page. So I probably did a horrible job explaining that, but again, please see Alicia's video down below and she will do a wonderful job explaining what it is and how to make it happen. I have like kind of a mix of patterns. For the spine, there are two patterns. It was the only two full sheets that I had that was like a full pattern all the way down because I needed over 6 inches for the strips that go on the left spine. And then I have kind of a mix for the other panels, was just trying to use up some of the pieces that I had. And today I'm doing a little bit kind of a different part of the process for you, since I have a lot of repeating patterns and like not the same amount of repeating patterns. I just want to make sure that I'm not repeating too much of the same pattern on each card. So I just thought I'd show you like how my process of how I go about making sure that I have, you know, a good mix on each card. So I pretty much just lay the cards out and kind of lay out all of the pieces before I glue anything down, and then, you know, kind of move things around. If I don't like something somewhere, I'll kind of switch it out with something, or I can turn it to the other side depending on if I have double-sided paper. So if you tend to use scraps with Alicia's SheetLoad, I thought this might be helpful, kind of just like how I work through that process. Bitty Penny's pads come with, you know, patterns for your papers, and then embellishments like cut aparts that you can cut out. And then this one also had a lot of sentiments. So I am using the sentiments that she provided as well. So again, just laying out all of the scenes on the card. I kind of went with the ones that were about 3 inches square. And then I have a mix of the sentiments that she included in the pad, and then just will lay all of that out before I start gluing anything together, just to make sure that, again, I have everything kind of how I want it before I get down to that last card and have all the same pattern left. So I went ahead and glued everything down, and here are my finished cards. I did end up adding a small scrap in the left, like on the spine of those with the blue pattern on the spine. It was just kind of a way to use up some of the scraps that I had and just added a little bit of extra kind of pizzazz for the top part that was kind of plain. And I did end up going in and adding some enamel dots. I don't think I showed that in this part. Please be sure to check out the playlists linked in the description box below, as well as Alicia's video. Hope you guys got some inspiration. Thank you so much for your time, and hope you all have a very crafty day.